come this way, just watch the corner. Here we go. Careful. Go on down there. All the way down. As soon as we tie it up, we get the show on the road. Here we go. Break a leg. Well, it's moving day in downtown West Palm Beach at the Helander studio in the background here. We have been working on a show for about 6 months, which will open this coming Friday at the Fritz Gallery in Palm Beach. It is a very interesting and a very ambitious show because, among other things, there are 40 separate works. Our new flower paintings, the title of the show is The Patterns That We Perceive. And so,
I want you to look nice for the opening too. We'll get
among other things, the works that are being put in our delivery truck today have to do with repeat pattern, paintings on fabrics, and then the other innovation, we found a company in the Far East that has actually made art scarves out of the repeat patterns. So we're very excited because we haven't actually even seen the other half of them. The gallery in Palm Beach is, I'm proud to say, is the largest gallery in Palm Beach. It has the most beautiful space. So after all this time of working in the Helander studio, a lot of late nights, a lot of Saturdays, a lot of weekends, we now come to the point where the show comes together. It'll take 3 days to position the pictures and to hang them and to label them. So this being a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this better be done. And that's the story right here in beautiful downtown West Palm Beach, en route to the island of Palm Beach. Or you could call it East Palm Beach, I suppose, if you wanted.
And then when we move this, the eyes on the world deal, this should be separate, and you can put, Daniel can put blankets around this.
Okay. Okay, good idea.
The base can be wrapped as well, and then we're ready to rock on that one. Thank you, folks. This green sofa is going in the show.
Okay, my love.
And this could be Mario and Daniel. And when they come in, they can lay it on this side like this.
It's Bruce and Claudia Helander at the Helander studio in downtown West Palm Beach. And we're here to extend an invitation to the show we have been working on together for about 6 months now, called The Patterns We Perceive. A lot of the work has to do with patterns, and in fact, we've turned the pattern paintings into scarves. So, get there early, because we ain't giving these away, but this is my first scarf that I've made in over 10 years. The first series was with Nicole Miller, and we're hoping that these take off. They're very similar to the paintings that are going in the show, and that's the whole idea with perceiving patterns in art. There we go. Be careful of the corner, you guys. You may have to pick it up. And we'll come this way. Just watch the corner. Careful, and come through this way. Out we go. Excellent. Thank you. Here we go. Careful. Yeah, go on down. Go on down there. All the way down. Okay. And you're just going to have it right in and seating, huh? There we go. Stuck somewhere. All right, here we go. In we go. A little more. There we go. Well, it is an exciting day for the Helander studio, but really, as the paintings come out and are loaded in the truck, you know, they all have thrived on what I consider the best energy in Palm Beach County, which is downtown West Palm Beach. We got the bright line across the street reminding us that there is energy going back and forth to Miami and Fort Lauderdale. We have people that are actually celebrating the notion of a city which would have a main street, and it's a walkable city downtown. That's why I've been here for, 25 years. We are very fortunate to have this great two-story studio where we do all of our work and our consulting and curating shows and so on. But you know, the ultimate test and sort of the ultimate satisfaction for me is being an artist. And if you're an artist, what goes with that is showing your work. So the idea of this show came together about a year ago, and slowly we've worked to put it together. There's nothing like working on the pictures until you finally get them into the gallery and you set them up on pure white walls with the right kind of light, and that's really where the magic occurs, and that's what we're hoping we're going to be able to do today. All right, everybody. As soon as we tie it up, we get the show on the road. Everything's good? Is this secure? Yes, good. We didn't have to use the blankets. We're ready to rock and roll. Here we go, break a leg. So it's amazing, this is really one of the best, certainly not one of the best, this is the best space in Palm Beach. It was an old dance hall in 1920, and it was built as a second-story company that certainly was filled with, I would suspect, lots of rhythm and lots of blues. And so when we open on Friday, there's going to be lots of rhythm and lots of blues because my paintings are repeat patterns, and a common denominator in the pictures is blue. So I just made that up. Now that goes right over there. There we go, right there. And then we're going to put all 5 paintings that are squares. These are 52 inches wide. They're going to go here, and then the next one probably, I think Claudia's bringing the other 2 black and white. So this is the pattern wall. Okay, well, let's try it. Here we go, over here. Keep going. Okay, bring it up here. You can hold it up a little bit. And yeah, that's very strong. That's very strong. And then we'll get the little baby one on this side. See, here's the way it's going to be. Look, we're going to hold this up. What do you think, Cloudy? So this is going to go up to about right there. Down a little bit. Down, down, down. This is going to be about right here. Can you hold it? All right. Let me see. Man, that looks so good. Yeah, this'll work. So we'll just lean it right down here for now.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-873-5927.
Attention! This message is for everyone eligible for Medicare. If you have Medicare Part A, Part B, or any Medicare Advantage plan, you are entitled to preventative services with no copays and no deductibles. You may also be eligible for full dental, vision, and prescription coverage. These benefits can make a huge difference in your overall health. Call Nation's Advantage now to renew your Medicare plan options.
Please call 800-590-6941.
Hi, I'm Kwame Wynn, host of The Cute Empire. Here on Buzz TV Network, everybody needs to be watching Buzz TV Network because this week's Cute Empire program is dedicated to you. Grow your personal empire right here. Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Are you drowning in debt? Struggling just to make minimum payments? It's not your fault. Serious debt can happen to anyone, but there is hope. Our debt-free program has helped thousands of good people just like you eliminate their credit card debt. Call us today and we will dramatically reduce your credit card debt down to just a fraction of what you owe. The call is free. The consultation is free. Take control of your credit debt. Take control of your life again. Call now to see how our debt-free program can work for you.
Call 800-993-1670.
Beautiful. Bruce Helander has it all.
Amazing work, brilliant.
These are outstanding.
The finest collage artist in the United States of America.
Fabulous, inspiring.
The work tonight is superb.
I love the show. Beautiful fabrics and patterns. I really appreciate it.
It's a great exhibit. It's quite a crowd.
Reminiscent of Warhol's Flowers series. Beautiful work.
It is a tremendous show.
Way to go, man.
Ever expressive, ever inventive. Bruce Helander's work never ceases to amaze. Wonderful design and painting, beautiful, including scarves. Bruce Helander has it all. It's amazing.
I am here enjoying Bruce Helander's amazing work at the Fritz Gallery. It's opening night. I highly recommend you getting down to check out. I don't know how many decades retrospective we have going on here, 30, 40 years of his work. Absolutely brilliant. And tonight, of course, Bruce is here and he's phenomenal.
These scarves are from the painting. There are only 10 of them. It's our first ever edition.
I've known Bruce for quite a while. The Mickeys are a great addition, and these are outstanding. He's done a wonderful job on these. Bruce always delivers a great show, and this is no exception.
He's the finest collage artist in the United States of America.
He's fabulous. He's such a terrific artist and a really great person and really inspiring.
Brown, and you notice everything.
Doing something in contemporary.
Way to go, man. I've been seeing your work since I was maybe 5 years old, and you've come a long way. Great job tonight.
The work tonight is superb, and I really love it.
I love the show. Beautiful fabrics and patterns that are going on. Very, from all over the place. There's very different ideas and it's very expansive. I really appreciate it.
It's a great exhibit. There's so many people in here right now, or I would take you over and point to the one I like the most, but it's quite a crowd.
Another incredible show by Bruce Helander. Reminiscent of Warhol's Flowers series, he's tapped into the amazing beauty of floral, flowers, and pastel colors that everyone loves and would like to have in their home. The delicacy of his work with the subject matter is a remarkable tribute. He's truly one of the master collage artists of his generation and possibly the century. Beautiful work, Bruce.
European artists have got no problems with humor in art. American artists tend to be serious, they want to be taken seriously, and Bruce Helander is European in this. He is light-hearted, he mixes between very witty figuration and abstraction. What he does is really unusual, I think. This is a tremendous show.
Days because it's definitely worth the trip over. It's fantastic.
Attention. This message is for everyone eligible for Medicare. If you have Medicare Part A, Part B, or any Medicare Advantage plan, you're entitled to preventative services with no copays and no deductibles. You may also be eligible for full dental, vision, and prescription coverage. These benefits can make a huge difference in your overall health. Call Nation's Advantage now to renew your Medicare plan options.
Please call 800-590-6941.
Are you drowning in debt? Struggling just to make minimum payments? It's not your fault. Serious debt can happen to anyone, but there is hope. Our debt-free program has helped thousands of good people just like you eliminate their credit card debt. Call us today and we will dramatically reduce your credit card debt down to just a fraction of what you owe. The call is free. The consultation is free. Take control of your credit debt. Take control of your life again. Call now to see how our debt-free program can work for you.
Call 800-993-1670.
What's on your website? Video is now essential to your brand, and Buzz TV can help your business website stand out. Buzz TV is a full-service video production company creating video to highlight what you do best, with service and product news and demos, video for the web, YouTube, Facebook, broadcast TV, and social media sharing. Email buzztvnetwork@gmail.com today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-873-5927.
Hi, we're in the Fritz Gallery on a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous February afternoon in Palm Beach, Florida, for a show titled The Patterns We Perceive, New Paintings and Other Mysteries, which is a collection of new works on canvas and prints. The challenge was to take an already printed piece of fabric and to change it through an evolution of painted gestures, drips, painted out areas. In this picture, in terms of recognizing pattern, this is called mums the word, a play on words. These are mums, and they're in a pattern of 4. So when you're looking at this object, you start to perceive other patterns. This was another very interesting picture where I decided, again, to block out these patterns that would go off the page and find a way to put an abstracted pattern together on the pictures. Most of my work, if not all of my work, is an appropriation of a printed material, a page in a magazine or a newspaper. And in this case, I found an ad from 1950 that had a lady and her bag, and decided to cut it in half and to flip it over upside down. So when you look at it, you don't see at the same second that it's a lady with a bag, here's her hand, but you see a different kind of composition. And the double bag lady, of course, comes from the smaller bag lady picture, but in this case, we put both of them together and sideways. It's the simplicity of the composition that I enjoyed and the challenge of making something very pedestrian into something very interesting. These are among my most favorite works in the show and among the most famous works in my collection. One picture in particular was sold 30 minutes before we opened the show, which I'm very proud of. In many cases, artists like the challenge of making compositions devoid of color because when you're not using color and you're only using shape as the motivating factor to put together an interesting and arresting composition, it just is more of a challenge. What I do is to try to find these disparate pieces of pictures and pieces of paper and try to put them together in a way that starts to form a composition. There's a lot of personal enjoyment with these because you have no idea which road you're going down, whether you're going to take a right or a left or what makes sense. It's just what feels right at the time. In addition, we have other larger paintings. One of them, my favorite, called Macy's Mickey Day Parade, where an 82-inch tall painting depicts the debut of Mickey Mouse in 1937 in the Macy's Day Parade. It's very exciting. It was one of the most popular pictures in the exhibition, and it sold on opening night, so I'm very pleased. Here are the handlers, here are the volunteers, and many of them are wearing Mickey Mouse ears, and they're all holding on to this thing for their dear life. Another component that I enjoyed putting in this that sort of broke up the space a bit was redrawing the lines that were holding down the Mickey Mouse. And because it was a rainy day, I exaggerated a lot of the painting drips that sort of had a kind of a metaphoric connection to a rainy day, but also added to the painterly aspects and surface. In many cases, I've gone back and painted in clouds that accentuate a building. I'm always looking for something way in the background that gives a space. And in this case, I decided to just paint a few little flying birds up there. So the illusion is from looking from here all the way up to there, that there's an aspect of space that you're trying to build into the picture. It really is an example of one more way of kind of holding an aesthetic note longer. In other words, finding as many components as you can to make a more interesting picture. Occasionally, since the source material is the printed page, I'll find an image that I can appropriate and put into a different context. And in this case, of course, it's an appropriation of a famous Picasso work. The original painting of about 1922 for Picasso, and then added other collage material. Again, the original collage was about this big. Then I blew it up to this size, and then began, it started as a black and white piece of paper, to color in the face, adding a little makeup, adding some color into here, and then the final piece was coloring in this blue circle, and the title of this picture is Blue Period. Part of the aesthetics of the picture is its recognizability, that it comes from a Picasso-esque, if you will, composition, and that there are added elements onto it. An image that already existed, and twisted it and manipulated it into something different, into something new. And that's really the mission that I have as an artist, to make something new out of something old. Of all the shows that I've had, and I imagine it must be well over 100, this is absolutely hands down the most beautiful showplace I've ever had the opportunity to exhibit my work. Great spaces, beautiful walls. Apparently this structure was built in the 1930s as a dance hall, and so with that it has a second floor with beautiful rafters, which sort of adds to the ambiance and also the concentration in looking at the pictures.
Attention, this message is for everyone eligible for Medicare. If you have Medicare Part A, Part B, or any Medicare Advantage plan, you're entitled to preventative services with no copays and no deductibles. You may also be eligible for full dental, vision, and prescription coverage. These benefits can make a huge difference in your overall health. Call Nation's Advantage now to renew your Medicare plan options.
Please call 800-590-6941.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-873-5927.
Be part of the forward-moving process. Get involved. Be part of the conversation and stay connected. Hi, I'm Kwame Wynn, host of The Cute Empire. Be generous and kind. You'll feel better. And watch The Cute Empire each week, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. on Buzz TV Network. Grow your personal empire right here.
Are you drowning in debt? Struggling just to make minimum payments? It's not your fault. Serious debt can happen to anyone, but there is hope. Our debt-free program has helped thousands of good people just like you eliminate their credit card debt. Call us today and we will dramatically reduce your credit card debt down to just a fraction of what you owe. The call is free. The consultation is free. Take control of your credit debt. Take control of your life again. Call now to see how our debt-free program can work for you.
Call 800-993-1670.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Canai, and I'm the CEO of Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens. Very happy to be here today with Bruce Helander. We are discussing the wonderful exhibition that we have in the gallery, An Eye on Nature, the prints and paintings of Morton Case. Bruce, I haven't met Morton yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I know that he is described by many as distinguished, esteemed, admirable. Could you please give us your thoughts on Mr. Case?
Well, all of those observations are right on the money. I've been an artist and a critic and a curator most of my life, and all of the famous artists that I've known, from Kenneth Nolan to Rauschenberg to Chamberlain, all have this great spirit. I think Morton Case has exactly the same kind of circumstance where it's a twinkle in his eye, it's a vision, it's an excitement, it's a slight smile, it's full of confidence and full of experience.
Fantastic. We're excited about the fact that the exhibition really focuses on nature because we have 2 acres of nature right here. So let's talk a little bit about the paintings and the pieces of work. The first thing that comes to mind is color. It appears that Mr. Case really does find a lot of joy in color.
Well, that's the first thing that artists try to master, studying color, working with color. Morton's traveled all over the world from Venice to Rome, studying the landscape, studying the architecture, and little by little he has developed a remarkable color palette that is particularly interesting in this show because most of these pictures are about nature, as you said, whether they're flowers or butterflies or so on. Color was the key, and it's right here. The exhibition of exquisite works by New York-based Morton Case is a true delight for the eye. The exhibition is a celebration of the perpetual cycle of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness through the intrinsic beauty of our landscape and the inventive juxtapositions that could be interpreted in this show as new garden of earthly delights. Mr. Case has spent his entire professional life exploring the complements of nature, among other topics from abstracting plants and flowers to exotic landscapes and the flamboyant butterflies that accent our atmosphere with a passionate emphasis on the effects of light and color on these entities. This current exhibit, titled The Eye for Nature, Paintings and Prints by Morton Case, offers visitors a survey of simply charming, organic assortments that magically bring the outdoors in. In this memorable exhibition of more than 30 individual works, Case appears to be an avid adventurer, an explorer of multitude of flowering plants that often seem to take on their own distinct personalities. Whether a single iris or a gorgeous bouquet, the artist intuitively has a perfect sense of composition, and to my mind, a remarkable aptitude for mixing pigment and forming it into memorable, abstracted figurations.
Fantastic. I wanted to ask you a quick question about the butterflies because I know that that is a newer series that he's been working on. Can you speak about maybe his inspiration for the butterflies?
Well, I think butterflies are obviously an extension of nature, and for centuries artists have been trying to capture the magic of butterflies. They have a resemblance to romance, to nature, to color, to exotic subjects. And in fact, there are butterflies in the garden, and now they're on the inside. This exhibition is a rare opportunity to see and contemplate enchanting works by Morton Case, a recognized modern master who offers an indelible impression of the inherent splendor in nature and meets the challenge of artists to cleverly interpret the aesthetics of our beautiful environment.
We look forward to meeting Mr. Case and his entire family, and we look forward to visitors from the area and beyond enjoying this exhibition.
I agree, and it's a show I don't think anyone should miss.
Absolutely.
Thank you.